Hello everybody and welcome to the final throwback day of 2015. And I don't think we could be more appropriate than the movie that we're going to discuss today in December, especially because of the fact that winter has finally arrived, meaning it is freezing, it's Christmas week, and I'm wearing a comfy sweater. So there's no reason why we shouldn't talk about one of the few movies that so many have watched during the holiday season, and that is Frank Capra's directed film from 1946, It's a Wonderful Life, starring Jimmy Stewart and Donna Reed. Now, this is a movie that I know that I should have seen such a long time ago, but because of the fact that I do not celebrate Christmas, I'm from a different faith, this is not one of those few films that I knew was something that I had to see. But nowadays, knowing exactly how much of a classic it is, knowing that it is a movie that so many people say is perfect for the holiday season because it doesn't necessarily have to be looked at as a Christmas movie. It does happen around Christmas, and for me personally, because of the fact that my Facebook status is always on December 25th, Merry Christmas Movie House, because that's usually where I am on Christmas morning, it was time for me to see It's a Wonderful Life. And you know something? It is a very good movie because of the fact that it does send a positive message. It's the story of a man named George Bailey who grew up having big dreams, wanting to travel the world, wanting to create things, and yet, as life keeps moving on, he ends up staying in the same place that he grew up, called Bedford Falls, watching so many other people's lives moving forward, going to great lengths, and becoming amazing individuals because of the fact that they decided to pick themselves up and move on, but because of the fact that he had such a good heart and knew that there were responsibilities that needed to be done at home, he chose to let all of these great things pass him by just because he felt he should do the right thing. And he had done all of this so much to the point where he just said, I've wasted my life, and felt that the best thing to do was to end his life, until a certain someone shows up and says, I don't think you should be doing that. And not only does he tell him why, he shows him why. This movie really does send a positive message. You don't need to celebrate Christmas. You don't even need to be Christian. This is a film that sends a message that all people of all denominations and all faiths can truly take. If you are just a good person and you surround yourself with positive people, you really will have a wonderful life. Is there anything that I didn't like about this movie? Well, I could be the critic and nitpick, because one of the few things is, as great as Jimmy Stewart was, he is known as one of the greatest actors of all time. I do feel, now that I have seen two movies that he has been in, one that I will review next year, I kind of feel he does overact from time to time. Also, I kind of felt a little bit weird because of the fact that he made a very non-convincing 20-something. When he did, in fact, star in this movie in 1946, he was already 40 years old. So a 40-year-old playing a 20-something is kind of weird to me, and that's just because of how far films have come, but for the time, it made sense. But it is a very good movie, and it is a movie that does stand the test of time, because it is just something that everyone can take from it and use it to their actual lives. Is this a movie that I will own on DVD? No, and that's just because of the fact that this is a movie that is shown on television no matter where you go around this time in the holiday seasons. You'll be able to find it and you'll be able to watch it with or without commercial interruption. Is it a movie that I would want to watch again? I wouldn't be as extremely enthusiastic to sit down and put my life on hold and watch it, but I do feel that if I did have time, it would be a movie that I would want to rewatch, especially if I was suddenly put into a position in my own life where I just needed a uplifting thing to keep me going and make me realize that I truly do have a wonderful life. And you know what? After seeing that movie, even though I have seen so much in my own life go in such positive directions, the movie made me feel even more about the fact that I do think that it is a wonderful life that I lead. So I am going to give It's a Wonderful Life 3 out of 4. If you haven't seen this movie, I'd be surprised if you didn't, because I'm quite surprised that it took me this long to see it, but now that I have seen it, I am better off for it, and I think that everybody should see this movie at least once. So thank you very much for watching my throwback days, everybody. I'm looking forward to presenting you more classic, modern classic, cult classic films to review once a month in 2016, and I'll see you then, but for now, enjoy the holidays, and actions speak louder than words.